and welcome back to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience here on 90.3 WMSC up in Montclair. This is your host, Chris, and I have a special guest on the line. I have Hanno of Mantar. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey Chris, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you. You're calling all the way from Germany, and I know it's extremely late there, so I really appreciate you calling in, man.
Of course, no problem. I stayed out all night and had some beers in order to stay awake, and I'm perfectly fine.
Dude, that's awesome. There you go, night owl. That's kind of how I am. I'm more of a night guy than a morning guy. I hate the mornings. So I thought we would talk about your upcoming album. You guys are coming out with a new album on August 24th, The Modern Art of Setting Ablaze. By the way, dude, awesome album title. I love that. I like when bands have it long and like kind of, in depth. Pretty awesome right there. And yeah, my question to you is what inspired the writing of this record? Because I noticed it follows a theme of like fire, you had in your previous record.
Yeah, well, the first record was Death by Burning, the second was Ode to the Flame, so we thought we're going to stick to the same thing, or not the same thing, but to the theme of fire. And then we came up with a modern art of setting ablaze, and it's just, take a look around, like the situation in the world right now, especially like in Europe and the United States and stuff like that. People are, they kind of refuse to think for themselves and they're falling for false leaders and false prophets again. So I thought the title, like The Modern Art of Setting Ablaze, is a good thing because it refers to the fire in the heads of the people because that it seems to be a thing again, and especially here in Europe, like yeah, people are seeming to have a certain urge to follow weird leaders again, and so we came up with that title.
Pretty in depth. You are you very involved in politics at all, or is this record very political at all, or is it just kind of like that's the concept?
Funny thing, actually, I'm not. Of course, I'm a political person, just as everyone else. But Mantar never used to be a very political band. It's just like I couldn't help myself just having that influence my lyrics, I guess, because you just have to open your eyes and ears nowadays, watch the news, and talk to the freaking neighbors and stuff like that. It's a thing that's going on, and therefore it's don't get me wrong, it's just like not necessarily a political statement. Maybe it's more like the morbid fascination of the fact that people just don't want to learn and they're walking into the fire again for the last 10,000 years, 1,000 years, 80 years, and nowadays again, history repeating.
Yeah, that's actually true. History is always repeating. A lot of people will say like, I just know with America, a lot of people say it's like the Roman Empire almost. It's gonna fall soon. You know how they
Yeah.
always say that. But so my next question is about the singles you released. You guys released two singles, "Seek and Forget," which is your latest video, and "Age of the Absurd." I feel like that wouldn't that really speak for the album? Like, wouldn't you say that's really like how the album, like the overall sound is?
Yeah, of course. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't release it as single. It's of course, especially "Age of the Absurd." I like that song a whole lot. The first single because it doesn't make any compromises. Quick and short, but also very catchy, and it's very intense. And the "Seek and Forget" has more of a rock and roll vibe, even though it's kind of dark and sinister. I think yeah, both songs are. If you like those songs, you're definitely gonna have a good time with the overall record.
And the record comes out August 24th, The Modern Art of Setting Ablaze. Are you guys working with Nuclear Blast on like putting out a like a release show? You guys going to have a release show for the record?
It's a single release show, or well, right now we're here in Europe and doing all those big metal festivals like Wacken and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the day the record actually comes out, we're just gonna play like a super freaking tiny club show with like 200 people or something, like super underground. Which from our side pretty much is a statement, but that because that's where we're coming from. We're pretty much like a DIY band with a big punk background and ethics as well. So I wanted it that way instead of playing a huge summer festival. I thought it's even cooler to play like a super small show in a freaking basement somewhere.
That they I feel like at least from the first two tracks I've heard, I feel like that album would that definitely fits the setting. A small club with those two songs just sounds awesome. Especially your video, the Seek and Forget is like a live video. That just seems so much fun. Like it was probably fun shooting that, right?
The live video.
Yeah, Seek and Forget. It was kind of like
Yeah,
sorry, as you were saying.
yeah. It's just like, it's. I think it's like the material is just like from early this summer, and the tour we did like a huge European tour last winter, and that's based on that material we shot there. So it's just like no concept. We just had the camera going from time to time, and I always liked super simple live videos, not like performing in order to shoot it for certain songs. Just like, have the camera rolling on occasionally from time to time on different concerts all over the world and put it together to a live video. I just like that, so people get an idea how we're rolling live and what's going to happen. I think it's very very one dimensional, but in a very good way.
I'm totally with you on that because I feel like some metal videos, when they try to get like really in depth with it, or like try to put a story to it, it just ends up not like coming out that well. Like their vision doesn't, explain well, or it comes off a little cheesy. Do you ever get that vibe?
I totally hear you, man. That's exactly what I thought. Instead of trying to create art, I rather create stress, and want the people to understand what a montage show actually is, which is like straight into your face, giving 110% on stage and play as hard and as intense as we can. That's what the band is all about.
Are you a fan of Code Orange or Nails at all?
Well, I'm aware of both bands. I can't. I honestly have to say that I don't own a record of any of those bands, but I know that they're good, legit bands, and I have plenty of friends who like them both. So, but for me personally, my personal taste in music is pretty much different from what I'm doing myself.
Oh, really? So, what are kind of some bands you listen to?
Dude, I've been brought up with classic rock and still totally into it. I listen to Thin Lizzy, AC/DC, ZZ Top, you name it, that kind of stuff.
Wow,
And
yeah.
on the other, and on the other hand, I'm very deep in like super raw and primitive black metal kind of stuff. So somewhere between AC/DC and that, you're probably gonna have Mantar.
That's actually pretty great description. I mean, coming from you, it's perfect. But the reason why I brought up Nails and Code Orange, I was talking to my friends before when we were checking out your tracks. I feel like that'd be a package tour right there if you went out with Nails and Code Orange. I feel like that'd be
I'm
such a stellar lineup.
I'm game whenever, man. Just I'm in. I'm up for anything.
Yeah.
Especially in the United States. We did some tours in the United States and all that been great fun. But we really would like to team up with some better, or not better, but like bigger, well-known bands. That would be a nice thing to do. So we have the chance in order to present ourselves in front of bigger audiences.
Oh yeah, of
Because
course.
I don't mind, playing in front of 50 or 500 people or 5,000 people. I don't care. We put on the same show every freaking night. So, but it would be nice to actually get the chance to present our music to a big amount of people in the United States again. So we're working on US dates. So we're up for anything.
Is it harder for European bands to get tours in the U.S. or just get on a tour or get in the States? Like, is it harder for you guys?
Well, I don't know if it's harder. What the hardest part about it is, of course, like the visa situation, because it's very difficult for a European band to come to the United States and tour in general, because your regulations are very, very strict when it comes to work visas and artist visas and stuff like that. I do live in the United States now for the last 3 or 4 years. I'm a green card holder. For me, that ain't no problem, but like for regular American, for regular European bands, it's a big problem. Yes, and of course, the European and the American market is very, very different, which is kind of which is a little bit weird, because in the end, there's just a ton of people, a ton of metalheads who just want to listen to good music, and it's a pity that it's so complicated from time to time. I think it's harder for European bands to play tours in the United States than vice versa, because I know a lot of bands from the States who spend the majority of their time to play in Europe, because they just get paid better, they treated better, and stuff like that. So, but we always like the United States a whole lot, because they've been just nothing but very nice and welcoming and passionate about us. So I totally want to keep playing there. And to be fair, it's a big thing for a small German European band to play the United States in general. And of course, I take it as a gift that we even get the chance to do that. So I'm totally going to keep on doing that.
Yeah, I heard visa issues, but I was never like, I never went in depth with that. And I also heard it's harder for bands to ship their gear from Europe to America, like to get all their gear over.
Yeah, I don't really care about that because usually you just can rent backlines, or you just share backline with other bands. That not too much of a problem. It's just like the whole logistic, it's difficult because you usually do not get paid as good as you would get paid in Europe. You don't get hotel rooms, you don't get food and stuff like that, and therefore it's very expensive to actually make a tour happen in the first hand, because like even in Europe, especially like in Germany or Scandinavia or stuff like that, even if you come over there and just like 25 people, you still get a place to sleep, you still get catering, you get still like a big amount of free drinks and stuff like that. It's just more comfortable touring in Europe, I guess. But on the other hand, I don't tour due to comfort. I tour due to the fact there's people who want to listen to my music wherever is. We've been to South Africa, we've been to Russia, we've been to Japan, and of course we've been to the United States, and we're going to go back there again because it's due to the people and the fans. And as long there's people with a certain demand and who wants to listen to our music, we're going to be around.
For anyone tuning in right now, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the Metal Teddy Bear Experience, and I have Hanno of Mantar on the line. So going back to your album, The Modern Art of Setting Ablaze, comes out August 24th. How long did it take you to write the record, produce the record, get it all together?
But writing the record, the material is based on stuff I wrote within, I don't know, like several months while I was either at home in Florida or on tour, wherever all over the world, just like recording some riffs on my cell phone. But the real work started early this year when I came back to Germany in order to meet up with my drummer Arrange. And within 6 weeks, with just 6 weeks, we arranged the songs based on the material I wrote beforehand, and then we flew back together to Florida and recorded the record within just a few weeks. And yeah, that's it. Quick and dirty punk rock. That's where we come from. DIY.
That's actually a pretty great saying. I like that.
Yeah,
um,
but fact, we have a very big or huge DIY spirit. That's where we're coming from. We do not usually rely on other people too much. We do our own thing, so to say.
are you guys working on putting out like a third single or a third video?
Yeah, probably by the end of August, before album release, there probably is gonna still there's gonna be another track and video, I assume.
Do you have any in mind, like what track you want to do, or no?
It's gonna be a surprise, but yeah, of course I have it in mind.
Awesome. I love surprises. All right. So during my show, I asked three random silly questions. You ready for that?
Absolutely, sir.
All right. Question number one: is ice cream cake considered an actual cake, or is it just ice cream that is in the shape of a cake?
It's just in the shape of a cake. Cake has nothing to do with ice cream, hands down.
Oh man. All right. Have you ever had Carvel cake? Do you know what that
Yeah.
is?
Say again?
Carvel cake, by any chance? Or
I don't know. Is that an American thing? I'm still not too used to American food culture.
that's okay. It might be just a regional thing anyway. But I don't know. It's an awesome cake. It's in the shape of cake, and it's just ice cream, and it's all goodness in it. So I was gonna get that for my friend for his birthday, and my other friend's like, "Dude, that's not a cake. That's just ice cream." I was like, "Seriously?" So I've been asking everyone that now, and looks like you're on his side because I believe it's a cake. It's just made of
Okay,
ice cream.
I'm German heritage. We take like cake and bread and beer very, very freaking serious. So there's no compromise and no experimenting with that.
So you have the final say on it. All right. I like that. All right. Question number two. What is the worst memory you have about school?
About school?
Yeah, worst memory.
Oh, let me think. Probably getting punched in the face a few times by
What?
bigger kids. That's what every kid has. You're a punk kid wearing clothes the other kids don't like, and there's some weird bully just punching your face for just not fitting in with the sport dudes or whatever, stuff like that, you know. And also good looking girls not being interested in you no matter how hard you try, but I got over that.
Yeah, that's true. Getting punched in the face, I feel, will definitely it goes down as the worst memory right there.
Yeah, that totally sucked. But then again, even back then, being freaking 12 years old or whatsoever, I knew they're gonna pay back because karma is a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. It always comes forward, comes around. I like that. Question number 3: what's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell, um, I think it's I think it's a fresh beer.
Like just straight opening the can or a bottle or whatever.
Yes, I think it's that. It's just like a beer. I really do like the the smell of a beer. I know it's not very special, but I really do like the smell of a beer, especially like a wheat beer, like a Hefeweizen kind of thing, like this heavy wheat kind of beer. That has a great smell to it.
What's your favorite kind of beer?
Sheep cheap, watery American beer because that's funny due to the fact I'm from Germany. Everyone thinks I'm so interested in microbreweries and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm totally not. I do like watery, horrible American beer where you just can't easily have 25 off on a sunny day at the pool. I'm totally game for that, and you just drink it down like water.
That's awesome. All right,
So,
you don't hear that usually.
to answer that question, my favorite beer is still for free. That's my favorite beer.
All right, solid answers right there. All right, so thank you for participating in the random silly question. That was awesome.
Of course.
So yeah, what do you guys have planned for touring or anything else you want to talk about?
But right now we're finishing a huge festival summer because, as you know, like the metal festivals are is a big thing here in Europe. You know, every country has at least like 10 of them whatsoever. So you easily can like 2 or 3 months straight doing like Thursday till Sunday every week doing all the summer metal festivals and rock festivals and extreme festival whatsoever, you name it. And even do some club shows in between and promoting the record, doing interviews, shooting videos, and stuff like that. But you know, I try not to take that too serious because we're playing live. That's what we're here for.
Exactly, man.
And
You guys have a
then,
lot on your plate.
yeah, and then by the end of summer, we try to relax for a few weeks, and then I fly back to Germany, and then we invited our friends and buddies from Skeleton Witch to do a huge European tour with us in order to promote the new record, and that's what we're gonna do. And then the year is almost over.
Yeah, so you guys are set till 2019. That's awesome. Keeping busy promoting the record. Can't wait.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thank you for doing this interview. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Chris. And yeah, thank you for taking time. Thank you for your interest. Spread the word.
Will do, man. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You too, Chris. Bye.